Health Siren is proud to sponsor and presents a new episode in the series on freedom from disease by Anand Bapat, acupuncturist naturopath based in Pune. Please enjoy it, share it with others, and provide feedback as well. Here is Anand Bapat.
In the previous video, we discussed sports, weights, stretching, and yogic principle, slow squats, and their benefits in detail. Today, we will discuss yoga in depth, as this is close to perfect exercise for all the ages. And I mean ages across the age limits, so for the young and old. Obviously, it's much better for the over 50s. Yoga is an anabolic exercise, less energy consuming, but more muscle building. Please listen carefully as we will be talking about True Yog, which is much different from what you possibly know today about yoga. So here we go talking about yoga. It's basically an exercise system for life. The last century has somehow missed the boat regarding the true essence of yoga. It is unfortunate, but this is what we see in hindsight. Today, yoga is looked at as another exercise system, which is why we are discussing it here under the exercise banner. Essentially, yoga has been a journey to union with the ultimate. Whether it is your own self, whether it is what we call God, whether it is the Atma, whether it's universal energy, whether it's the soul, the force, whatever we may refer to. Now, when we talk about yoga and traditional yoga, yoga has got four types of yoga, or four ways of achieving yoga. Yoga being ultimate union with yourself and the universal energy. So yoga has got Jnana Yoga, which is about knowledge. Now this knowledge generally traditionally used to be about the Vedas and the mantras and the universe and all that sort of stuff. But it can also be about something that you're damn good at and you're focused on. So it could be medicine, it could be engineering, it could be a scientist, it could be anybody doing their job. But their quest is more and more and more knowledge to the ultimate level. It cannot be a case of I'm qualified and now I don't want to know anything. They are not chasing Jnana Yoga. Okay? And people who develop that attitude and go about it that way eventually end up becoming yogis through the Jnana or the knowledge path, as we call it. Next is the Karma Yogi or Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is about what I do in my life. Now, if I do everything in my life in whatever stature I have, whether I'm a family man, whether I'm a son, daughter, child, adult, elderly man, grandparents, working man, boss, in every aspect of my life, if I'm just, if I'm fair, if I'm looking after everybody's needs, if I respect other people and manage to do as best as I can, then I'm being a Karma Yogi. There are people who are doing that. They are so engrossed in their work and their dedication to work that they don't worry about politics and dynamics and anything else, what people might say. If they believe they're doing the right thing, they just go ahead and do it. Then there is the Bhakti Yoga Marg, which is about devotion. It has generally been referred to as devotion to the Almighty. So it has become restricted to people who are swamis and sadhus and priests and people who are devoted to the church, etc. But I don't believe it is restricted to that. It could be a farmer, it could be me. I'm devoted to somebody in my heart because whatever I do is in the name of the Lord. And as long as I'm not looking at it doing myself and I'm doing it in the name of the Lord, then I'm on the right track. And that is Bhakti Yoga, which gives its own salvation. And none of these are linked to anything to do with what we know as yoga today. And the last type of yoga is Raja Yoga, which is the yoga where they talk about achieving it through service. So it could be a king, it could be a soldier, it could be an employee who's doing things. And today we are going to talk about this particular type of yoga, Raj Yoga. And when we talk about Raj Yoga, we realize that the yoga that we talk about, which is the asana and the pranayam and all that sort of stuff, is actually a small facet of Raj Yoga, because the essence of Raj Yoga also is to aim to get to ultimate union. And today, with our yoga as we know it and as we practice it, we are miles away from that, unfortunately. This yoga, as we know it, I believe, became essential in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is a yoga that we have where we talk about all the vices and all the bad things that are happening around us, etc. Honesty has gone down the gurgler, and people have got sort of no values and all that sort of stuff. So, the yoga that we practice became a necessary thing as a preparatory process to cleanse, discipline, and prepare the body for the ultimate journey of union.
We are now going to be
Which is
talking
what
about
yoga is all
Hatha
about.
Yog. Hatha Yog, as we have just outlined, is a subset of Raja Yoga. And for about 1,000 years ago, a great man named Patanjali came up and prescribed a system of yoga, Hatha Yoga, where he referred to it as Ashtanga Yoga. Now, Ashtanga Yoga has 8 clear steps, and the steps are in order: Yama, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. Now, if we are supposed to go step by step, we obviously find that lip service is done in most yoga classes regarding Yama and Niyama, and we tend to jump to step 3 and 4, which is Asana and Pranayam. Now, if this 8-step process is meant to be cleansing us and preparing us for the ultimate union, every step is equally important. So we jump to asana, we jump to pranayam, and we think we are doing yoga practice. And then we give up on that. We don't follow up with following pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi to experience the ultimate union. Now, the concern that is about these things is that we generally jump to step 3 and 4 without worrying about the preparatory classes before and the advanced classes after to complete the complete understanding and experience of yoga in its union. It's like missing primary school, then completing middle school, and there is no intent of completing high school. And then we think we are quite literate. In reality, we are actually leading to illiteracy. And of course, we are not talking about illiteracy across the lot. We are talking about illiteracy in terms of yoga. But we believe by just studying asana and pranayam, we are complete yogis. And then we wonder why we do not get the full benefit of what Ashtanga Yoga is all about. And what we have basically done, we have thrown out the baby with the bath water and created a problem for ourselves in terms of practicing asana pranayam without the rest of the orderly stuff that we are supposed to follow.
So now let us look at what is the essence of Hatha Yoga. It's an education for life itself. We do everything in life only once. We are either successful or fail and repeat the activity to learn and grow. The survival rules do not permit this luxury. When we were survivors, we either kill or get killed while hunting. We had only one opportunity in life and we had to do it correctly. So if I had a spear or bow and arrow and I had to knock out the animal, I had to do it at the first shot. If I did it at the second or the third or the fourth, there's a possibility that I was dead anyway. So yoga is about learning the art of perfecting an activity within one practice. Now, of course, this is not going to happen overnight. I understand that. But the concept we need to understand, and I'm going to repeat this again. Yoga is about learning the art of perfecting an activity within one practice. So what is yoga learning? All yoga learning is about a one-off practice. So every asana you do it only once. All yogasanas are to be practiced only once, not 4 times over saying, oh no, I missed that, I'll do it again. Oh no, I missed that, I'll do it again. When you focus on the asana, you're expected to put all your resources, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, into the activity to the best of your ability at that point in time. Failing that, you go to the next day and repeat that once only, try to do better. You are expected to perform the asana to the best of your ability to your maximum duration. So if I can do an asana for 2 minutes, I'm expected to do it for 2. While somebody else can do it for 5 minutes, they're expected to do it for 5. They should not do it for 4 and say, I finished. I'm doing better than you. It is a challenging yourself for your own body. Thus, correct learning and practice of yoga asanas is always slow, steady, focused, with full concentration, and looking at the process rather than the end posture and final position. Unfortunately, today we have focused more on the final position and the final posture, irrespective of how we are going about it. This learning process and practice of yoga asanas will vary with every person, but eventually, as their bodies get supple, as they become more flexible, eventually all will arrive at the same destination based on their dedication and body changes. They may have different time frames, but they should arrive at the same destination. So the fundamentals of yoga are slow motion movement, complete focus on activity with no distractions at all, complete awareness of all processes occurring within the body, understanding agonist and antagonist actions. What do I mean by that? To give you an example, if I'm moving my arm, my biceps bends the arm. When I'm bending the biceps, when I'm bending my arm, my biceps contracts. At the same time, my triceps is relaxing. Now I need to learn to relax the triceps while I contract the biceps so that I can get the maximum outcome out of my movement. If I keep the triceps tight, the movement is not going to occur. And this is a learning process. I gave you the simpler example. The same thing stands with tight muscles and tendons, where we tend to just push, but you need to relax and contract the opposite group of muscles to get there. Learning complete control of every muscle, every joint, the feeling of what is going on within you, experiencing pain if it is happening, the thoughts that are going on in your mind, experiencing the breath with complete awareness at all times is the essence of yoga. You must be aware of all the muscles, not just the large big muscles that you can see and feel easily, but also the small muscles. You must be completely aware of the breath and all its variations with the different postures of asanas and movements that you have. There should be total focus to make every movement and activity count for success. So you must be focused at all times. Why is this important? By learning yoga correctly, we learn to implement everything in life, doing it the best at every possible opportunity. Today, our nature has become distraction and learning. We believe we can make mistakes and correct them on the next occasion. We forget that to unlearn the mistake and correct the error is a lot of unlearning and relearning, which we waste our time doing most of the time. We do not have a delete button. It doesn't exist. So we cannot make mistakes and say, oh, delete. If we can perfect the yoga technique, it's a direct application to be able to do things, that is everything in life, in one attempt. Doing it perfectly, I mean. Whether it be cooking, cleaning, driving, learning, at work, etc. So the applications of True Yog is phenomenal in everyday life. This is the phenomenal power of Yog that we have missed out on. Thus, lost a great opportunity for massive progress in our personal lives. So, to reiterate, understanding true yoga, total focus on breath awareness, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual union in every asana. The process is more important than the destination. Slow motion with complete awareness, putting all your life forces in every asana as if life itself depended on this asana during those next few minutes. This over time translates into living with this philosophy, becoming a perfectionist in every act you do. So now we are going to review some of the yoga asanas. We are going to see a demonstration of Paschimottanasana, videos on these, Padmasana, Shirshasana with variations. The philosophy of yoga is implemented in scientific Surya Namaskar learning, hence becomes very powerful as it incorporates slow motion benefits along with exercise benefits.
Paschimottanasana. This is an asana where you're sitting down with your feet outstretched in front of you, legs on the floor, knees locked, toes upturned towards you, with all the 5 toes pointing towards the body, not at an angle but parallel. Take the arms up, stretch upwards as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, slowly stretch down from the hips all the way down as far as you can go, putting your hands over your soles of your feet. And then as you stretch a bit more, gently lower your head, stretching further. If you can meet the head into the legs, that is better still. And most important, in this position of hold, breathe relaxed and observe what is happening to your breath. The breath may change in the areas where you notice the breathing happening. So your job is to observe and try to stay calm, relaxed breathing. Hold that position as long as you can. 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, even up to 5 minutes for people who can do so. On the way back, slowly stretch your arms up. Stretch them to maximum as you come up. As you come up, breathe in. And do it again, this time at a further higher level, where you stretch your arms to maximum and place them beside your feet. Remember, the knees are locked and the toes up towards you. And try to stretch the body further up with your head into the legs. See the arms scrounging forwards. See if you can stretch that a little bit more. Ensure your toes are pulled up towards you and the knees are locked. And this is a slightly more advanced stage of Paschimottanasana, where maximum stretch of the body is availed of. Again, during the hold position, ensure that you focus on awareness of your breath. Hold the position as long as you can. Comfortably manage. And keep the stretch on the knees, on the toes towards you, the arms, the waist, the back. Every part of the body should be maximally stretched. And stretch the arms into your fingertips. And as you come up, breathe in. Relax the arms down beside you. And now relax the legs. That is the end of Paschimottanasana. The next asana, which is Padmasana. Now with Padmasana, you start out with the same position, feet in front of you. And the aim of the Padmasana is to get your legs across on their own steam without support from the hands. Lift them up, place them on your thighs comfortably, one arm left first, left then right, or vice versa, keeping your back straight. And when you are sitting in Padmasana with your back erect, the correct proportion of the body is your wrist will be touching the knees. So you need to make sure that your back is erect and not leaning forward. If it's leaning forward, the wrist will move across. So make sure that your wrist is perfectly at the knee and then your back is perfectly straight if you are in Padmasana. Now we will move on to Shirshasana. Shirshasana is commonly referred to as a headstand. It's important to note that you start off nice and gentle. Remember, all asanas done in this true yoga manner are slow motion exercises. So when you do it in slow motion, life is a lot harder. You gently bend your knees, bend your hips, take the legs up, take it all the way up to be perfectly straight. Now the lady is demonstrating Padmasana in Shirshasana. First she will demonstrate Padmasana with the legs straight up. So from the hips you are straight and vertical. And then she'll demonstrate it with the knees bent. So it is like mirror image of Padmasana on your head. Now this is quite difficult and I don't want anybody just to try it without practice and guidance. This is just as a demonstration for you to know the limits of what the human body can achieve. Now she is returning to vertical Padmasana with the hips straight, and then she'll open up her legs to go back into Shirshasana, the traditional Shirshasana, which is straight up legs in the air. Now she's nice and vertical and relaxed. Now in Shirshasana, when you're relaxed, you should be breathing relaxed. On the way down, you will see that you should bend your knees, bend your hips, and come down nice and easy and slowly. Slowly, and try to come with a very soft landing as she is demonstrating. Just nice and gentle. You do not flop down, because in yoga, when you flop down, the whole asana has been a waste.
So to review the yoga knowledge that we have gained: slow motion at all times, focus intently on breath, work to your maximum time and stretch, be relaxed at all times, observe the magic of relaxation of body during exhalation. It is exhilarating if you can appreciate it. Practice every day. Enjoy progress every week and amaze yourself at the human body's ability to change. Revel and enjoy life with better health. Health benefit time. We have told you everything we had to tell you about yoga. Now the question is thinking about doing it. So get yourself a good class, understand this philosophy, try to work through it, look at our videos. We may be uploading some more YouTube videos on yoga itself, which may be more related to true yoga as we teach it, and you might find that very exciting and informative. So follow us a bit later, maybe in the next few months, and we'll do that. And then when it becomes a part of you, you'll ultimately find you'll become more flexible, more stronger, more capable, more focused, and thus getting to peaceful means and progressing in your direction of health, becoming freer from disease. Thank you very much and have a great day. I'll briefly introduce myself. My name is Anand Bapat. I run the acupuncture clinic in Pune using natural therapies. I teach scientific Surya Namaskar under the Scientific Surya Namaskar Academy banner. We require 8 hours of teaching for proper Surya Namaskar education. We are attempting to bring scientific basis to naturopathy. I'm an expert on Shivambu, so we are working on propagating Shivambu through the masses as best as we can. I offer a free internet clinic, which I have been for the last 4 years, and people can contact me on email and I try to help them out. And we offer Freedom from Disease lecture series, which is about a 4-hour lecture. People can have it in 1-hour slots or 2-hour slots, and we can adjust that. It's available for corporates and large crowds in Pune. And to make it amenable for others to benefit from this information and knowledge that we feel is very basic and very useful, we are creating YouTube videos as part of the series for the Freedom from Disease series, which is helping you to understand what it's all about. So let me wish you goodbye for the day. Have a great day, and I'll catch up with you next week. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Anand Bapat, for your valuable information on health. This series is a 15 to 22 part series on developing oneself into a healthy person. This series will educate, guide, and provide support through our online educational and support services to enhance your health. All queries are welcome on the following email.
Download app Health Siren for all health solutions at your doorstep.